We're talking about your dream video game. What does it look like? What are the elements in it? You know, is it open world? Is it...
If you had the means to create one, doesn't matter if you lack the know-how or if you lack the resources, whatever it is, if those were taken care of and you could just create whatever you wanted, what would it be?
No one intervened on behalf of...
Good. Get good. I'm Jim Overton, and I'm Trey. And today, we have a...
Salutations, good people. Welcome to the CS Podcast, where we create stuff. Or if you're Trey,
Money!
Oh, God. Create shit.
I don't know, what if you had 60 chickens?
An inch and a half, that's about that.
That's about there.
You said it with confidence.
Hey, kid, that limp was pretty good, but that wince was money.
He's had him throwing a coat, and in midair, he's just like, ah!
Like, I don't know what sound a Barry Manilow makes. You know what a hawk sounds like, right?
I do. It sounded like you were trying to say a word. Jody in the Soapbox is opening for Retro Garbage tonight. We gotta get there, man. We gotta get tickets. The first thing we're gonna buy with our gumball money is an animated butt.
What just chaps your nipples? Like, what is it?
What is it, boy?
I don't know, son. It's just a joke.
Gary Bankston.
And today, we've got our hands absolutely full. Salutations, good people. Welcome to the CS Podcast, where we create stuff. Or if you're Trey,
Create shit. And not only do we create, we also like to highlight those that create and give them a platform to showcase their work and their art and whatever it is that they do.
and today we've got our hands absolutely full with another topic to discuss. I think it could potentially be super creative.
Oh, absolutely.
A very creative topic.
Absolutely.
That we really want your opinion, your input on this. We're talking about your dream video game. What does it look like? What are the elements in it? You know, is it open world? Is it...
If you had the means to create one, doesn't matter if you lack the know-how or if you lack the resources, whatever it is, if those were taken care of and you could just create whatever you wanted, what would it be? Let us know in the comments below.
So earlier today, and let us know in the comments below right after you hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed.
Oh, yeah, and then head on over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. You can let us know there, too. I don't mind. Let us know all over the internet at Official CS Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, or just follow us on Spotify and listen along there.
Come hang Mondays and Fridays. We'll be your daddy.
Yep.
So I was looking at my Xbox PC homepage.
Yeah.
And I saw just a little thumbnail for Human Fall Flat.
Yeah.
And if you know what I'm talking about and you're familiar with Human Fall Flat, just look it up.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Super simple, very fun. But the main character, I didn't know he had a name, but his name's Wiggly Bob.
Oh, I didn't know he had a name either. It's just like a little meeple.
Yeah. He's just a little faceless dude.
Yeah.
And the main menu is him just falling in the sky, just constantly falling.
It fits.
And it's under that it says, "Help Wiggly Bob wake up from his dream of constantly falling."
Yeah.
And it made me think, okay, that's a thing in dreams, falling.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe somebody had to have had a dream.
Yeah.
Where they felt like they were falling, and then they woke up and said, "That's the menu screen."
That's it. Yeah.
Or that's a concept for a game or something.
That's
like
what
that.
I was gonna say. What do you think what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did he conceptualize like, oh, that'd be a cool game where you just fall all over the place and like the physics are weird and this and that,
Yeah.
or maybe it started with like, that'd be a cool little like, every time I go down when I'm on the menu, like the guy just falls. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder what came first.
And you could tell it's a super simple structured game.
Yeah.
It's not complex, but at the same time it's what makes it so fun.
Yeah.
So they created a game, and I thought, man, it'd be wonderful if Trey and I could either pay somebody to create a game, or if we just figure it out.
Well, with like the way things are going now, technology wise, I feel like it's just like podcasting or making skits or making videos. It's becoming more and more accessible to the average person.
That's true.
Like coding classes are free. A lot of your you could get RPG Maker online, and it has all the tools built in. It's pretty intuitive from what I understand. Like you can get as convoluted as you want with it. Like it really is becoming more and more accessible to the average person. And I think that's why you see the rise in like indie games, especially on like Steam and
that's so true.
Stuff like that. Like you're seeing more and more indie developers pop up that are they're tired of like AAA companies, bullshit. I don't know.
I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I think we will see. I mean, it's already happening, but in the near future, that kind of rise in video games, as we see with like podcasts and everything else, more average Joes making the video games that they want to play, which I think is really cool.
That is really cool.
But back to the question,
so
I feel like mine and your video game taste are very similar and also different. Like I don't know, we have a healthy mix of like what we like to play. And this is just me coming off like you living here a year, but I feel like you do play a lot more like multiplayer. Like you play a lot of like Call of Duty Zombies, or like you may not be playing multiplayer with it, but like recently Halo Infinite dropped. You're playing a lot of that. Like I feel like that I see a lot of you like that's kind of what you gravitate towards. Like it's like a comfort game. Me, I'm more of like, not that you don't like RPGs, but that's pretty much what I play. Like that's what I like. That's what I gravitate towards. So I don't know. It's interesting to see a game, if we were to create one. Like me, I would want it to have RPG elements. I want to be able to level up. I want to have a sense of progression. That's something that's very important to me. That and like a damn good story, which I think we could write. But like story is really important to me.
What's interesting is I like when it comes to streaming.
Yeah.
Like whenever I would sit down to stream a game.
Yeah.
A large part of me would rather stream an RPG.
Yeah.
I would rather stream a role-playing game and get into the story with people. Like, I don't know if you remember me streaming Zelda Breath of the Wild.
I do. Yeah.
I started playing it, and I found myself just giving voices
to the characters,
and narrating with just my voice and changing it up. That was so much more fun for me.
Well, we could voice all the characters ourselves.
There you go.
It's very obviously us with like, or maybe it is. We do it like a Nintendo game or like some of the indie games. We're just like when they talk, we're just like,
Right. Exactly.
We don't actually like voice them. We just come up with weird little what their voice would probably sound like, but then it's just nonsense.
And then the character they're talking to goes, I believe you're correct.
Yeah.
We do have to cross over the bridge in order to get to the top of the mountain.
That's like Biomutant came out earlier this year, and it's really good. And that's how, like, it was just these weird little creatures. Like, it was this, like, post-apocalyptic world after, I guess, these bombs fell. It was like everything was radiated. And you had these creatures that were, like, mutated. And, like, I was running around, I was like some kind of weird rat possum thing. And, but, like, the NPCs were all animals as well, like these weird creatures, and they would talk and they go, and then the narrator go, I believe, or blah 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 blah, he says. Like it was interesting. It was kind of annoying, but like it was also like they kind of did both.
Like you had to hear it twice.
Yeah, it wouldn't do it. That's what I wish would happen is as he was he says blah 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 blah. But
you just hear the mumbles underneath.
He says he thinks that it's this. Like that was,
yeah.
Now some people gave the narrator a lot of crap. Like it was he's overused and he's annoying. I thought he was pretty funny.
Yeah.
So like when you're running around, he would narrate, and I kind of like that. But I see that it's in Biomutant. I guess maybe it was overdone, so maybe we don't do something like that. Like a little narrator as you run around.
Well, it's interesting because you said you noticed me playing like multiplayer games, things like that. I think there's a level of comfort there for me just to kind of escape and zone out. It's almost like I don't even know if I'm going to be able to explain it right. there's a certain feeling that comes with doing that.
Yeah.
That level of, I don't know, there's a level of competition.
Yeah.
Mostly it's a game, any game that I can learn to be decent at.
Yeah.
Like I realize that Halo Infinite, I don't suck.
Yeah.
And I gravitate towards stuff that I'm not bad at. If I
That's fair.
spent a
Yeah.
week getting my butt handed to me, I probably wouldn't still be playing it.
You
And
probably wouldn't play Dark Souls.
probably not.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like when I think of a dream video game, it has nothing to do with multiplayer stuff.
Yeah.
Like not even
Yeah.
close. It's all open world concept.
Yeah.
I love open world. Skyrim, GTA.
Mm-hmm.
You combine those two, and you probably have my dream video game.
You know, it's funny. For some reason, I pictured like if ever we made a CS game, it'd be like 8-bit, like
yeah,
the old, like the old, like the original Final Fantasies or something, where like we go to the town or whatever, and there's like a shop and this and that, and then we go in and we get the quest and do whatever, and maybe there's some side quests, and then you come out of the town and it's like this kind of like open world, and then as you walk around, maybe there's like an encounter. It goes into like an encounter thing, or maybe it's played like Pokemon,
okay,
or something like that's for some reason that's how I pictured it.
Yeah.
One, because I feel like it would be cheaper to make and easier.
Well, it's a dream video game.
It is. It's a dream.
So
but still, for some reason, that's what I pictured for us. Like
Okay.
that's. I mean, you think about like the Ryan's voicemail segment. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I went with
That.
for that. Like, I don't know, it just feels right for like us.
So with your dream video game, is it that system? Is it like a main story with side quests? Is it?
Yeah. I like side quests. I also really enjoy, like, I would have hidden bosses. That's
Okay.
one thing I was really disappointed with Kingdom Hearts 3. Like it's Square Enix, and it follows, like, you had Kingdom Hearts 1. You had a bunch of hidden bosses. Like if you didn't know what you were looking for, you'd never fight them. If you don't go back to a certain place, like there's the one in Neverland where you have to, like, oh my god, you have to either hit the clock tower or you have to like cast a certain spell on it. I think you have to like hit it and get it a certain way and then like cast stop on it or something.
Okay.
And then it'll spawn like a hidden boss and you fight him.
Okay.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool. So my dream game would have absolutely like little hidden bosses, like a, like, oh, you thought the main boss, like the main bad guy that you fought at the end of the game was hard? Like, okay, you haven't fought, this guy.
Yeah.
That you can only find if you go to this certain place and do this certain thing. Like Persona 5 had the twins that you could fight, which was really cool.
Okay.
The twin sisters.
So I feel like mine would be similar. Main storyline, side quests. I don't know. I love GTA on how, I don't want to say realistic because
Yeah.
I mean, it's not realistic to pull somebody out of a car and get away with it and steal it or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I say realistic, I mean not dragons. Even though
I get what you're
Skyrim,
saying. It's grounded more so in reality. It's not fantasy.
more reality based,
Yeah.
I think, because yes, Skyrim being probably my all time favorite game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that really, really loves escaping reality a bit and fighting dragons.
What if what if it's just you and I, like, walking around, and maybe we're having to find featured content creators?
So if we're talking,
And,
so
like, it's
if
like-
we're
it's-
making a game together,
Yeah. And like,
okay, so we should talk
and
about
maybe there's some weird side quests that we could get off. Like, oh man, help me, just whatever shenanigans that we normally would do in real life. Like,
Yeah.
those are the side quests. Or we're trying to find featured content creators, but then it's like, oh hey, let's make this skit.
yeah.
We run around and grab all the camera equipment and stuff. You have to place the lights in a certain place, and then maybe it's like a Dance Revolution, or like a button,
Yeah.
whatever, and we act out the scene. I don't know.
So okay, so we need to talk about what our video game looks like if it's you and I creating one.
Oh yeah,
and then I think
separately.
and then individual.
That's
so,
fair. For some reason I was picturing us together.
Absolutely.
Speaking of, like, this is a game that I feel like a lot of people may or may not know. Probably not. It's called The Movies. And it was on, I think it was for like Xbox maybe, but I had it for PC. And you literally, you make you run like it's like a movie studio tycoon kind of sim. Like you have your own movie studio and you like hire actors and stuff.
Oh,
but what's really
cool.
cool is you make movies. And so you can type out the name of the script and you can write like a synopsis about it, and then you can either let the people let the act, like just let the game make the movie, or you can go in and actually, like, as you progress through the game, you'll unlock different sets, different like camera equipment, like to make it like it starts off like old like 1930s like, you know, film.
Yeah.
And then but you can get more modern, like, anyways, you can actually go in and make your own movies. Like you can, okay,
That's really
actor walks
cool.
in from left side of the screen. This is the dialogue that they say, and you type it up on the screen. It's gonna pop here. They're gonna do this action. They're gonna fight this character. Like you can, I mean, it's kind of minimalist, but at the same time, like there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, something like that might be cool for like the CS. If we made like skits, like that's like a little mini game. You can make your own skits.
Oh, you've got a skit section.
Yeah, and drop us in like costumes and stuff. Or
So
you
you've
create
got-
your own character.
You've got podcast hour, and you've got actually leave. So you've got the CS studios.
Yeah, we'd have a whole studio.
And in the studio, like, so you have to walk to the studio.
Yeah.
And inside the studio, it's like this corner.
Yeah.
There's a menu. Oh, God, I can see it now.
Yeah.
And you've got skits, you've got podcast hour, whatever. And then when you leave the studio, you've got a whole nother world of stuff to do.
As you make money, you bring in money from the podcast. You can upgrade the studio. You can upgrade the podcast equipment, bring in more.
You go to conventions. Market for conventions.
Yeah.
On the podcast hour, you can talk about conventions.
Yeah.
You can talk about this, that, the other thing.
And it'll affect like fan quality, like
sponsorships.
Yeah, it affects all that stuff. Like it all has different attributes.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Oh, no, see, that's really cool.
See?
But it's also, we go out and, you'll get a text message from someone who saw the show and they have a content creator. This could lead to a big sponsorship deal.
Yeah. So you
Or
pursue that side quest.
right, and then you got to negotiate.
Yeah.
You might lose somebody if you negotiate too
It goes into
poorly.
like an LA Noire type like negotiation.
Because
doubt,
it's us.
Doubt.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth or whatever. Like I do. That's something I like too. Is a very like Fallout does it really well. At least like Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and like the first two Fallouts especially.
Yeah.
The conversation choices. I may like when I play games, I max out charisma. Like that's how I like to play games.
Okay.
If there's a way that I can play a game, like don't get me wrong, I love fighting, but like if I could play a game in a very unorthodox way, like if I can play the game and not like fire a single bullet, I just talk my way out of situations.
Yeah.
Like I'll do it.
Okay.
I find that very enjoyable. So like these in-depth like conversations, like persuade this way, like a 39% chance. I need to buff that skill, like that kind of stuff. I love.
Okay.
So whether it's in the CS podcast, like a negotiation style scene, or whatever game that I make personally, if I could make a dream game, it would have something like that.
Interesting. I think it would be awesome, and this might be so. I love the idea of being immersed into a fictional world.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I love GTA because it's a little more like reality.
Yeah.
But it's stuff that you can't do in real life.
Yeah,
There's
you
not-
can't go out and blow up a helicopter with an RPG. I mean, you could, but
Yeah.
you can't input a cheat code and make your car fly.
That's right. So I think if you take that a step further,
Yeah.
and it's a game that's created based on your life.
Yeah.
It's, you're using the map is the world.
Yeah.
And we use Google satellite images and
Yeah.
all that. And in order to get the inside of your house, you have to take your camera, you scan. There's some kind of software that you
Yeah.
input it into, and your game is you. You dress you. You take a full body picture of you.
Yeah.
And it's you waking up in your bed as a video game.
That's wild.
Now, it's like Sims, it's GTA, it's all these things.
Yeah.
And these games, I believe, were created for people to escape.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, people play Sims because maybe maybe you're somebody
It's
who's
their dream life, or they get to build their dream house. I know Morgan loves to build houses in Sims. Like,
exactly, and you get to talk. Maybe you're not that confident to walk up to somebody and
so
strike up a
you go out
conversation.
into the Sims world and meet friends and
But it's The
married.
Sims. It's just your world.
Yeah, but then at the same time, you could be a burglar. Like I think that's a career path in The Sims. Or like if you die, the Grim Reaper comes, and then like you could befriend the Grim Reaper. Excuse me. Or like some of the expansions that they have.
Yeah.
There's like 1,000 of them.
I think it's.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's completely an escape because it's still your life.
Yeah.
But you walk out of your door.
Yeah.
You get into your car.
Yeah.
And if you want to cut on online, like if you want to get online,
Yeah.
then you have if your
You could
neighbors
play with your neighbors.
if your neighbor's playing. And I
Yeah.
mean, what a relationship. You could walk over and beat the crap out of their car.
Yeah.
And your neighbor be like, well, what did I do to them? And I don't know. How fun would
Just all
that be?
that dog shit in your yard.
That's the first thing I thought about was Michael. That's the first thing I thought about.
Yep.
So, yeah.
How that would have helped you out. He just went and virtually beat the shit out of his car and felt better.
Right. And he probably wasn't playing, you know?
Yeah.
And if somebody else moves there, then the car changes.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's old,
That's neat.
Jethro's Nissan.
Yeah, well, Jethro.
And you drive up to the Anderson Mall,
Yeah.
or you get in your car and you go across country to California.
Yeah.
How cool would that be? And
I'm
you
just trying
stop
to
at
think of
real
that.
life gas stations.
Yeah.
Imagine planning a road trip and you go, hey, this is the name of my game. This is the name of the video game.
Okay.
Life as we don't know it.
Oh, that's neat. I like that.
I just
Yeah.
was thinking of this and I popped that on the paper. So there's a lot of crap we haven't explored and we don't know.
Yeah.
So I would love to go to Texas and see it. It's one of those that just popped in my head the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
And I'm like, I don't even know. Like, I didn't know I wanted to go. I
Yeah.
kind of want to see it. So I cut on my game
Yeah.
and I hop in.
You drive to you could teleport. We have the ability in like we have the technology and we could build it. We could teleport you to Texas. Like you don't have to drive in game. But fuck you. This is our game. You're going to drive. You're going to have a
Exactly.
road trip. It's going to take you 17 hours.
Right. Well, here's the thing. You could break the law. You could
Yeah.
speed up. You could turn on police mode or not.
Yeah.
We will give you that option.
You could steal a jet.
You could steal a jet and
You could fly. You could fly.
You'd have to figure out. You'd have to go to your local airport and figure out how to
steal a jet.
pursue that.
Yeah.
And how to get past security. There would be a
Yeah.
security feature, but of course you can beat them up. And, so maybe it is a little like GTA in that way.
Now, what do you do if you get in there and you don't have the piloting skill?
I don't know. But it's. I guess. Do we have?
I was wondering how real you want to get. Like,
Okay.
well, I don't know how to pilot an airplane, so I sit in there and I see all the buttons and I'm like, go.
Maybe it's like Clash of Clans when you build something, it legitimately takes 4 to 5 days.
Yeah.
So maybe to learn that pilot skill, it's going to take you a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So you do that and
You're gearing up for your virtual road trip, so you put your guy in piloting school for 5 weeks and just leave it.
yeah, and you skip the road trip.
Yeah.
But so that's a way out of that, but you got to put in the work.
Yeah.
Or you hop in the car and you enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
And you get real like life experience on what you're going to pass.
Now, would this be like VR?
I think it should
I feel
be.
like, yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it should be.
Should or could be.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be incredible. You get to live your life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people will say to this,
Why don't you just live your life?
well,
Yeah.
either live your life or if you're going to play a game, it's all about escaping. I don't want to live my life in a game. I want to escape my life. But at the same time, now you can make life what you want it.
Well, I think it's very helpful for those that can't. Like if maybe you have a disability or something that that doesn't allow you to do that. Now you can.
Right.
You know.
Wouldn't that be a crazy mental thing, though?
Or here's a wild thought. You live here in Anderson, but maybe you've always wanted to live in Scotland, but you don't have a means to move there or can pick up a job, or Scotland doesn't want you. You can move there in game.
Right.
And that could be where you wake up.
Exactly.
And it's real people that live in Scotland, so you meet your real virtual neighbors every morning.
Maybe they have to load by country.
Yeah.
Like the game really takes a while to load. Or maybe it's a DLC.
Yeah,
Scotland
DLC.
I heard they just released Germany.
Yeah.
You picking it up, it's $14.99.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta have Germany.
Oh, the Blitzkrieg expansion.
Right. But if whatever country you
Yeah.
live in, that country's free.
Yeah.
You pay for the
Yeah.
game, and whatever country you live in comes with the game.
Yeah.
And then you have to buy other countries. So instead of spending $2,000 to take a trip to Canada for a week,
Yeah.
you have to buy it for $15.
Can I break you real quick?
Yeah.
How do you know you're not doing that already?
Doing what?
That game.
Like, yeah, like I'm living it and I'm being controlled
Yeah.
by something.
Somebody, something. You.
Yeah. Me.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, I mean, I've always heard the joke like
Yeah.
we're just living in a
It's
game.
the Matrix. Then
Or
it's the Matrix. That's literally what you just pitched to me as the Matrix.
Really?
You just it's the Matrix. Think about it.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. But an actual video game. Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
I think that would be an amazing. I feel like
Yeah.
that's got to happen one day, right?
Probably. Well, okay, you say that. I'm fairly certain I saw something on Kickstarter not too long ago about an idea kind of similar to that, but it's not like a real life. Like it's a complete VR world that you can kind of go and live in and hang out and like. It's this massively expanded. You could build houses.
Sure, I think that's step one.
Yeah,
like The
absolutely.
Sims on massive steroids.
Yeah,
But
on massive VR steroids.
But how crazy would it be to just live this life?
Yeah.
But now think about it. This is where the dating world gets wild.
It's oh my god, it's got Bruce Willis in it. And if you know what I'm talking about, you can comment down below. There's a movie that he's in. Oh my god, what's it called? I can't think of it right now, but literally the whole movie is about you sit inside this machine. Like you climb into it and it's kind of like VR, but you control like an android. And so everybody in the world, you can create your own avatar and like you can
I watched a movie.
Yeah, it's got Bruce Willis in it. And yeah, that's the whole premise of the movie,
know
but
if
it
it's-
actually takes place in the real world. Like it,
Yeah.
I would instead of I would climb inside this machine, and then I would become this android, and you could like it's attached to like I guess your nerve endings and stuff. Like you could feel it and everything, and you walk around and you can become a different person. You can walk around, you get like you can do anything. God, what is it called? Anyways,
This might be the same one. There's a movie. It's like purple, like the
yeah.
There's a female star, I'm pretty sure, and it's called, I don't know, Violet or
Oh, you talking about Ultraviolet?
Ultraviolet?
Not what I'm thinking of, but I know what you're talking about.
There's simulations in that too, right?
Probably. I actually haven't seen Ultraviolet, but I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I will say my game, much less ambitious than yours.
Dystopian science fiction.
Yeah.
Dystopian science fiction action film written and directed by blah blah blah. A woman infected with hemoglophagia.
Okay. Hemophagia.
Aphasia, a fictional vampire-like disease in a future
Oh.
dystopia where anyone infected with the contagious disease is immediately sentenced to death.
Okay.
Maybe. Oh, there's an anime series.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I don't know. That was it, or I don't know if that was not it.
I don't know.
But I remember people meeting online,
Yeah.
and there was this really giant, just obese slob in a
That was
wife
playing
beater.
the woman.
Yeah, and he had like the thing
Yeah.
on, and
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
just
that's it.
controlling it. Okay. And the like cops came in and busted him because I think he was preying on
Yeah. Yeah.
underage.
Well, that's
whatever.
what Bruce. I think Bruce Willis was a cop in this.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's the movie I'm thinking about was Ultraviolet, but maybe that's not it.
Yeah. No, well, that's not the name of this movie. I
Can't
can't
be
think
it.
of the name of this movie, but it's Anyways, yeah. I like it though, but mine would be a lot less ambitious.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it would I guess it might be my dream. Not really,
Yeah.
because I'm not afraid to go out and do stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a game for somebody who isn't necessarily willing to take that leap
Absolutely.
to go
yeah.
out on a limb. But imagine the dating world. Like,
Yeah.
maybe somebody's on Tinder or Bumble.
Yeah.
They get a match and go, hey, would you rather play on Life as We Don't Know It Yet or LAWDNI?
Lawden. Laudney.
Laudney.
Loudney. Would you like to play on Loudney sometime?
Hit me up on Laudney. And you go out on a date.
Yeah.
It's like, where do you want to go? Well, and then you have to balance real money.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm broke on Laudney. Lord help me, I'm broke on Laudney.
You could buy virtual cash with your real cash.
There you go. Well, every real dollar is worth 50.
Now, okay, here's Quaid has
doubled.
Quaid has come up with this, and I stole it. But he's like, yeah, he goes, if ever I had like a wish, like a genie or something, he goes, it'd be that anytime I made money in a video game, I'd make it in real life. He goes, I would just play GTA all the time.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Or like me, I would take it a step further. I'd play those stupid little idle games. You know what I'm talking about? Where like every time you click, it's like it's $1, and then you can automate it.
Okay.
And then you upgrade the automate. It's like it's every mobile game, like idle mobile game ever.
Yeah.
And then eventually you're making like $1 billion a second.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I'd play that for like an hour and be set for life.
There you go.
Yeah.
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 Wow. But can you imagine someone? It's like I've got a crush, and they're a coworker of mine, and you're too afraid to say something to them in person.
So you hit them up on Loudney.
So you get on Laudney, and then you drive to work.
Yeah.
Maybe they've reported for work, and they're online. You know that they
Yeah.
play. It's like that would be the thing. You got a crush on somebody, and you're talking to your best friend. Gosh, I don't know if they're on Laudney.
I don't know if they're on Loudney or not.
It's like, well, dude, if they are you going to go to work and ask them? It's like, here's an idea. You ask them in real life.
Yeah.
So, oh, no. I would rather take my chances in Laudney and get rejected and not have to, like, you still have to face them at work, but at least you didn't get rejected at work.
Then you have that weird dynamic where you two only date on Laudney, but you don't actually talk in real life.
Yeah.
You walk by each other and at the water cooler, and you're like, and she's like, and that's about it. Or you see her walking across the thing, she like you kind of notice her, but she doesn't really talk to you. And then you get on Laudney, and you guys are like a bunch of rabbits.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, wouldn't that be an interesting segue for two very, very introverted?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just a weird, I don't know, there's so many different possibilities.
There really is.
Yeah.
I imagine there could be a lot of negative.
Yeah.
But I feel like there'd be a lot of positive, too.
Yeah.
You'd get together with somebody, you'd go out, and then you get to, like, at what point do you enjoy it so much that you're like, okay, we've got to take it to the next level?
Now, before we wrap up, at what point do we take it and start shifting time periods? I almost would be more likely to do like a, I don't know, like a Victorian London, like that era, or like you started thinking about GTA, and then my next segue was immediately Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
It took place in the Wild West, and I was like, oh, what if we did something like that? You got to walk around, you got to make sure you don't get syphilis by drinking the water.
Now, are your friends playing? Everybody that had access?
Oh, it'd be the exact same thing, just a different time period.
Just different time period.
Yeah, maybe.
And you have to ask the other person, hey, are you into the Victorian age at all?
Hey, you want to go dodge the bubonic plague with me? Like, that'd probably be fun.
Be like, oh yeah, I've spent quite a lot of time in there, and
I have experience with Black Death,
and I can help you. I can show you. It's almost like being cultured, or being traveled. Be a traveled person.
Yeah. See, for me, that would be more fun.
That would be.
And then it's like, I don't know. Is there PvP? Like, can we play Victorian era? Can I be Jack the Ripper? Like,
oh, I don't know.
That's a weird.
That is.
Who knows? Maybe that would help somebody that has those weird kind of like fantasies and like delusions and stuff. Like, they struggle with that. If they could just drop into VR and murder somebody, maybe.
Let's see. What if
it scratches, and then they're like, well, now I've done it. Now what about real life?
Okay, so here's where it gets probably pretty hairy, and we'll wrap it up. Imagine you're talking about a wiener, aren't you? We're still children.
It was so good. It was so serious up until now.
Yeah. So imagine the confrontations that start on Facebook. And imagine what this could do.
Yeah.
Everybody's on Laudney,
Yeah, on Laudney.
and everybody's playing.
Yeah.
And you have a real life beef with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just send them a message, and I'll actually get on Craigslist on Laudney and hire a bounty hunter, or just pay off my neighbor to go kill this person.
Yeah.
And then they do it on Laudney, and it's like it starts this big blood feud between families in real life. It's like
Then they get arrested in Laudney. They get tried in front of a jury of peers in Laudney, and they go to Laudney prison.
oh man, we would have to figure that system out. How many times can you die?
Yeah.
You know, or are you allowed
One
to
and
die?
done, permadeath.
Right. Oh man.
Yeah.
But I feel like Facebook, it's like, I heard you talking crap on Laudney.
I heard you talking smack.
Smack. And somebody gets punched, and it's like, then on real life, it's like, all right, you want to do something about it now?
Yeah.
It could be Facebook, but worse.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point.
that could be a problem. Or,
I don't know, man. It depends on if you can customize your avatar, if it has to look like you. Because then there's still the thing with like Facebook and stuff like that.
Privacy.
Is that, well, the privacy and the anonymity that, like, if you create a fake profile and go talking shit and messing with people, like,
Yeah.
And there's also not that face to face. It's different sitting in VR. You're not face to face, but like you're still having to look that person that you're talking smack to in the eyes,
so to speak.
virtual eyes, whatever. But
Yeah.
yeah. And then it comes down to, then you really get into the nitty gritty things like, is it going to read your facial? Is it going to read whatever you're wearing? Is it going to read your facial expressions and then translate that into the digital space? I would
Is there
think so.
like a
Dream video game.
proximity, headset? Are you
Yeah.
are you talking to people?
Dream video game. Why not?
Yeah. Are you able to talk to people in real life, or are you just going to be a text to speech person?
Yeah.
Or
Is it just going to be VR chat on steroids?
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we're not that far from something similar.
Probably.
Yeah.
Well, tell us what your dream video game is. What do you think of Laudney?
What do you think of Laudney?
Oh man, would you play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you stay anonymous? Would you be you?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be them and put themselves out in the world? Or
Yeah.
would you play it like The Sims, create somebody totally different?
Yeah.
And, go live a completely fantasy life in a
Yeah.
very real world.
It could be Life as We Don't Know It, or it could just be Me Simulator.
Me Simulator.
Yeah.
That's what it. Now, see, that's more catchy.
Yeah.
Like a shorten the title and call it Me.
Yeah.
That's what it's called. Me.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
It's friggin' you and everything else.
Yeah.
You want to know what the road trip to, almost Maryland looks like?
Yeah.
Or do you want to know what
Take it in Me.
Yeah. Drive to New York.
Yeah.
Drive it on Me.
Yeah.
And see what stops her along the way.
Yeah.
And go, I want to do that in real life. Then you pick up and you go do it.
Well done.
How about that? Anyways.
All right.
That would suck. All right. Well, with that being said, we've been the Scottish Hush Puppy, and I got some food to go eat.
And until then, my ghastly gang, stay spooky. Or until next time, whatever the fuck I say.
Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Bell stirred. Jordan Bell stirred.
Create shit. Build anything. Make it real.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Bell third. Stacking penny stocks while I'm flipping